coworker said that, like, the ability to digest lactose is something that we've evolved to do.
Yeah.
So it actually makes more, like, it's... The fact that so many people struggle with lactose is, like, not surprising, which makes me feel better because I always felt like lactose, like, didn't agree with me, and, like, dairy was just really, like, hard on my stomach and stuff.
Yeah.
But then I feel like they're the lactose-free people who are like...
Yep. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
What
I
a
used
way to
to...
start the episode.
What?
What a way to start the episode.
Yeah, we're talking about milk, you guys. My last comment on the fact is I used to drink almond milk, like, religiously, and then I realized that there's no real nutritional benefit to that, and there's a lot of sugar in it, and yeah, so I don't know, drink your milk.
I still drink almond milk because I don't care about the nutritional benefits because I'm drinking it in coffee. The nutritional benefit is my happiness.
Yeah, it's really freaking good in coffee. Almond milk and oat milk are superior when it comes to lattes.
They are.
Oat milk specifically makes it so good.
Almond milk, I don't love it, but to be honest, I get it because it's like $1 cheaper than oat milk.
Just $1.
I'm a penny pincher, okay?
That
Groceries
dollar
are expensive.
counts. Well, welcome
Hi.
back, you guys. This is Shelf Life. I'm Leah.
I'm Val.
And if you were here that whole time, we just had a 5-minute long conversation about milk.
And how it upsets our tummies. So there's something to think about.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Go have a glass of chocolate milk. Did you ever drink strawberry milk?
No.
I never did.
I think I
either.
tasted it once and I did not like it.
Something about strawberry milk seems like chocolate seems okay.
How do they make it? Do they put Red 40 in it? Probably.
Probably. But like, ugh.
Did you ever see the Minecraft milk in the store? It was green with the Minecraft label.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I was like, why do we need this?
That's so. Did it taste just like regular milk? It was just green?
Girl, I didn't taste it. I just saw it in the store.
Okay, if someone can find us Minecraft milk, we want to try it.
Okay, I need to fact check that because I think it was Minecraft milk, but
That's so gross.
I don't want to tell you an incorrect thing.
While Leah's looking to fact check that, for mimosas this last Saturday, we dyed them all green. Because
Really?
it was St. Patrick's Day.
Oh.
They did not look as appealing as one might think.
Oh.
They looked so bad.
Were they like if they mixed with orange, like it was like probably like a muted looking green,
Yeah.
like a barf color green.
Yeah, it was kind of like baby shit green. It was not good. Ugh.
Okay, yeah.
No, wait. Here it is.
Yeah, True Blue Minecraft milk.
Creeper milk.
Yeah. I'll show you guys on the YouTube. Oh yeah. Minecraft milk.
Minecraft milk.
But yeah,
That's really funny. The bucket of milk. That's what I thought you were talking about initially. I'm like milk in Minecraft.
No, like actual milk that they had in the store. I don't know, man. I'm gonna stick with my chocolate milk. My chocolate Fairlife milk specifically.
Anyways, welcome back, everybody. This is Shelf Life, where we don't talk about milk, we talk about books. Today we don't have any coffees. I feel like we haven't done a coffee review in
We
so
have not.
long.
Yeah, we've kind of like stopped telling them what we're drinking.
Well, today
Sorry,
Leah
guys.
was drinking chocolate milk.
Today I brought a glass of chocolate milk down, and I also have my water.
I too have my water, but I don't think I trust myself.
We're lifting it with our feet. Val gave up. She's ran. Cheater.
And I'm not gonna
Grip it with those toes.
hold it with the dogs. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna drop it. I'm drinking the Lime Slush Alani. This one like just came out. I didn't even realize it was new. Oh, that's right.
Who are you talking to? Because it's not your microphone.
Mic down. Okay. I got the new Alani. It's bad. That's the end of it. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10.
I don't like it. I
I th-
actually don't think I would buy it again.
I tried a sip of it and I did not like it either. It does not taste like lime.
No, it tastes
just-
like something else.
It tastes like sugar water.
Yeah, we're back this week to be talking about The Red Queen.
By Victoria Aveyard? Aveyard? Is that what it is?
Aveyard.
Huh,
Yeah,
okay.
Aveyard.
Red Queen is, I think, one of... Is it a trilogy or is there 4 books?
There are 5 books.
What?
Mm-hmm. And there are like
Wait,
spin-off
pause.
books. Yep.
Actually 5?
Actually 5.
Oh my fucking god.
I think
I'm only on book
that
3.
they take a turn. I think that the first 3 follow a story, and then the next 2 maybe follow a slightly different story because the cover changes slightly.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so I read this probably 2. Okay, wait. Sorry guys. I did not read it. I listened to it. This was an audiobook only for me because I was listening to it on my drives to work. Oh, wow. Okay.
Unfortunately, you guys, if you can see that bookmark, I am still reading this book.
Yeah, she did not finish.
Did not finish. I only have like 60 pages left.
But there's a lot that happens in the ending 60 pages of this book.
Yeah.
And I was attempting to remember it all, but honestly, my brain is meshing with the second book, and I don't want to give too much away. I can't remember details. But I listened to this book, then I started the second book. Now I'm into the third book. Just a little bit into the third. I don't fucking understand how there'd be 5 books. I already feel like it's kind of dragging.
Yeah. That's why I'm wondering if like the second 2 maybe, or
Yeah.
the 4th and 5th one, like take a different storyline.
Well, I am gonna find out for you. I don't know if we really should give you an update this week because we already spent 5 minutes talking about milk.
We're good. That's the end of that.
You'll get another update in another 2 weeks. So by then, hopefully, more things have changed in our lives because I feel like we don't really have anything exciting going on
No.
right now.
No.
So we'll just get into it, I guess. Do you want to hit us with a synopsis?
I would love to hit us with a synopsis. So, this book takes place in a world where we have people with silver blood and people with red blood. People with silver blood are gifted and they have abilities. They're basically just like superpowers, and there's all sorts of things. Like there are people who can heal things, people who are like fire wielders, people who can wield water, like all sorts of different superpowers, anything you can imagine basically. Then the red blood people are just like normal, I guess. They don't have any powers, but they kind of live to serve the silver people. The silver people have like higher spots in power. They're like the kings and queens and, everybody basically in a seat of power or in like a seat of privilege, basically.
There are silvers that are not in power,
Yes, yeah.
but
They still have better lives
Yes.
than people who are red.
yes.
So our main character, her name is Mare. She is a red, and as a red, you kind of have 2 ways of living your life. You can either go to school and you can find an apprenticeship and work and have a job, or if you are unlucky, which happens to a lot of people, and you don't find an apprenticeship, you get sent off to the war, you're conscripted, and yeah, you have to go fight for the silvers. Because there's this big, huge, long war going on. It's been going on for like 100 years and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So Mare doesn't have any apprenticeship going on. She is unfortunately going to be sent off to war in a couple of months. And yeah, she has 3 older brothers who also have been conscripted already. They're off in war. And then she has 1 little sister whose name is Giza. And she's kind of like their family's saving grace because she's very talented. She's a seamstress. So she goes in to work for the Silvers, and she is basically taking care of their family. And I forgot that this was just a synopsis and not just starting to run into the whole book. So basically, Mare runs into a stranger one night and has a stroke of luck that changes the course of her life and her family's life. And yeah.
Yeah. That's probably all you can say for the synopsis without giving away details. So, great job.
Thanks.
Okay.
What did you think of the book?
I think I gave it a 4. I really did like the first book.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I felt like a lot happened. Like, I felt like this book was very heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas now that I read the second book, I just feel like this one definitely has a lot more action than the second book. Some people might fight me on that, but I don't know. I feel like that's how I interpreted it. But yeah, I gave it a 4. I liked it.
Okay.
How do you like this book? I mean, you're not done with it yet, but how do you like it so far?
I'm liking it a lot so far. I think I would also probably give it a 4 for right now. I mean, okay, obviously this book was written a while ago, but it feels so nostalgic for some reason. Like, I'm really liking it. I feel like this is like The Selection meets Fourth Wing for people who have read those series. That's very much what this book reminds me of. It's like you combine those books into one. But yeah, I'm really liking it. I agree, like, it's fast paced, but like not in a way that's like making my brain want to explode. I'm really liking it so far. I like Mare as a character. She's interesting.
Yeah, she is.
But yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4 as well.
All right.
I hate though that I am liking this book because I'm like, shoot, there are now 4 other books that I have to add to my TBR. Like,
Yep.
God.
Well, if I read them first and let you know what I think, and if they get worse, then maybe you don't have to.
Yeah, there we go.
Getting into details. So, as Val mentioned, we have Mare and her siblings in the war and all of this stuff, okay? So you understand that at age 18, if you don't have a job, you're being sent to war, and you're likely gonna die out there. Sometimes you don't, but chances are very high. So basically, what happens before Kalorn meets her? Or is
She's pickpocketing. That's what Mare's good
Okay.
at.
Okay.
She pickpockets people, and that's kind of the way that she makes money for her family is she steals. So she's walking around pickpocketing people, and she meets up with her bestie Kalorn. His family died, and she kind of like took him under her wing and kind of helps take care of him. But they're besties. They get along really well. And the day that it starts on is something called First Friday, which is basically where Silvers come together and they fight in like an arena, and all of the Reds have mandatory attendance to come and see this, and it's kind of, they do it as like a way to control people, a way to just show the Reds like, look at all this power that the Silvers have, like, look, they're fighting against each other, you wouldn't even stand a chance. It used to be an entertainment thing, but it's not anymore. They use it as control. So that's kind of where things start off with us.
Okay. After they get back from First Friday, she basically goes back home. She has some stolen goodies that she tries to give to her family, and her family knows that she pickpockets, but that's the only way that she can provide for them. So they just kind of accept it, even though they're not happy with it. And then that night, Killorn shows up, and he tells Mare that he lost his apprenticeship and that he was going to be conscripted within the next week because his birthday is coming up. So Mare's like, well, fuck. Like, I can't let that happen. We'll figure something out. And basically, because she's a pickpocket and she has all these stolen goods, she has this man named Will. And he
Will the Wise.
Yeah, Will the Wise. He like is stationed in this wagon, and she goes to meet him, and she's like, hey, look, what can I do about smuggling a person out of here? Like, how do I escape going to the war?
He basically is like a black market dealer, is how she
Yes.
describes him.
Yes. So yeah, she's looking for a way out for both herself and Killorn. And then, out of nowhere, Farley, this woman, just shows up. She's in the wagon, but she's like, yeah, it'll cost you $2,000. Is it dollars? Crowns. Okay, 2,000 crowns, basically dollars. And she's like, well, that's absurd because I don't even make that much in a year. Like, and she's expected to have twice the amount for, each of them in like 24 hours. So she's like, well, that's just impossible. But Farley says, well, that's the price you have to pay. So, Mare devises this big plan to come up with that money. And she basically tells Gisa that, and Gisa has like a fat crush on Kalorn, so she'll do anything to keep him safe, okay? So Mare and Gisa go to the silver market because Gisa works there, obviously, and she kind of like smuggles Mare in and says that she's with Gisa. But then Gisa goes, does her thing. Mare's like wandering around the square, like looking for who to target because, mind you, they're silvers. They all have powers and they're all very different. So it's a lot easier to get caught stealing because some people just know. Like they'll be able to sense it before you even do it. She could not get caught. Like that is not an option. So she has to be very smart about it. Before she can even make a move, the TV starts broadcasting, and there's this rebellion group named the Scarlet Guard who has launched an attack on a silver city. So it's like this broadcast of Farley, the Scarlet Guard leader, basically like telling them like rise, red is the dawn or whatever. And yeah, so all the silvers get freaking angry and upset and all hell breaks loose and they start like beating up the other red servants and like all of the other reds in the town at the moment. So Mare and Gisa need to get the hell out of there without being caught by anybody, and they also wear red bands to obviously stand out and represent that they're reds and not silver. But they end up somehow making it through all the crowd, and Gisa asks Mare if she got anything, and she did not. So Gisa attempts to steal from somebody, and it's somebody who can clone themselves, and they catch her, and then the guards come over, and they're like, what's going on? And whatever, they know that Gisa was trying to steal. So she gets her hand broken. They break her hand. And then they're let go. They can go on their way. But Mare feels very guilty that Gisa just got her hand freaking smashed. And Gisa is also very resentful of Mare for letting that happen. But as Val and I were discussing earlier, she made that choice herself. Like, she did not have to do that.
Well, and this is a huge deal because Giza, with being a seamstress, her hand is obviously like crucial. So because her hand is broken, she can no longer be a seamstress, meaning that she doesn't have a job anymore. So she'll likely be sent to conscription when she's older. But that was also like their family's way out, basically.
Yeah.
She was supposed to like make a living for them and get them out of the poverty they were living in. So their future's basically gone.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, so after all of that goes wrong and she does not get any money, she ends up sneaking out one night and she basically waits outside this pub to pickpocket drunk people. And she's doing that, and then she pickpockets a different man, and he catches her, and his name is Cal, and he gives her a coin, and then she explains her story, and he gives her another coin. And that's basically the end. They split ways. And the next day, do you want to take over? I feel like I'm yapping.
Sure. So yeah, the next day, the guards from the palace show up at their place and they're like, Mare Barrow, you're coming with us. And she's like, what? Like, can you guys explain what's going on? What's going on? They won't tell her. So they bring her to basically like the summer home where the royal family is staying for the summer. And she is to be a servant. Basically someone like recommended her and was like, oh, here, give her a job as a servant here. So she's like, oh, it's got to be the guy that I met last night at the bar, whatever. But she doesn't really know like what's going on. So she is acting as a servant for this ceremony that's going on today called the Queen's Trial. And this is where all of like the highest families in the kingdom get to come to the king's court and they could show off their daughters, all of their abilities, and then they are trying to pair the two princes, like the heirs to the throne. They're trying to pair them with the strongest women to then have the strongest heirs later on. So it's like a matchmaking ceremony. So Mare is serving this, and as she is like serving these families and stuff like that, the princes come out and they're, introduced to the court, and she sees that Cal, this guy that she met at the bar, is one of the princes, and she's like, what the heck, this is so weird. So they go into this ceremony, and all of like the girls are showing off their powers and their strengths and whatever, in front of the king and his family and whatever. And right towards the end of this, Mare trips and falls into the arena. And the arena is covered by like this electrical field to like keep people out, but then also like keep, the girls are showing off their powers and they're throwing shit all over. So it's to keep everyone else safe from their destruction that's happening inside. So she falls onto this electrical field, and normally when people fall onto electrical things, they usually get electrocuted and die. This doesn't happen though, because Mare starts basically channeling the electricity and the energy, and sparks start flying off of her, and she's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
The electrical field like breaks basically, and she like falls into the arena and is just trying to book it out of there, because she's like, what is going on? I have no idea what's happening. And Cal ends up catching her and turning her into the family, like the royal guard and whatever. So she gets thrown into a prison, gets thrown into a jail, and wakes up, and the queen is there, and she's like, I've been rifling through your memories and I'm trying to figure this out, but this doesn't make any sense. You're red, like you very obviously have power, like you are controlling energy, like that's not normal. So I went through all your brain, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on, but we are going to have you marry one of the princes, because she wants to like keep her kind of roped in, and like, they obviously have to like explain to all of these Silvers what went on. So they come up with this story that Mare is the long lost daughter of, what's their name? Titanos, the family Titanos, and her parents were like generals in the war, and they were killed, and she was like scooped up and saved by a red family, and then raised out in like is it called the stilts? The stilts.
Yes.
And so then she's, been rightfully returned home, is the lie that they're coming up with, basically. So she is to marry the youngest prince, Maven. She is to be Marina Titanos. Jesus. She is supposed to be Marina Titanos, and she's now betrothed and will spend the rest of her life as someone cosplaying as a Silver. So.
But to throw a wrench in the mix, if she gets cut at all, she'll bleed red, and the secret will be out. So they have to be very careful. And when you're Silver, when you blush silver. So she ends up like, she has these maids in her room every morning, and they have to paint her face. So they put like basically silver blush all over and just make it look like she's actually Silver.
My brain has the hardest time understanding how someone would blush silver.
Because their blood is silver.
Well, no, like, I get that, but, like, I'm trying to picture it, like, what that looks like, and I'm like, because in my eyes, I'm like, they all look like Edward from Twilight.
Yeah. No, they would look very
They're all
sick.
sparkly, and then their faces just get more sparkly.
Yep. That sounds about right.
Yeah, they probably all look so sickly.
They probably do. Yeah, it even said, like, at one point in the book that Cal's ears, like, the tips of his ears turn silver. Like, what? Yeah, I don't know. It looks like Jack Frost. Yeah, they come up with this big old lie, and Mare is just, she has to pretend that she's Silver. So they send her through these, like, training classes on how to become a lady, because she's grown up her whole life as red, and she does not act like a Silver lady, I guess, at all. So yeah. She has to go through all these training classes, and the other girls around her, they, like, know something's up. Like, she's not the same, obviously. They all despise her because, obviously, like, she is gonna marry Maven now, and she just came on fucking thin air. And especially, what's the one that is gonna marry Cal.
Evangeline.
Evangeline is a bitch to her, like real bad bitch. Mean bitch, not a bad bitch, just mean.
She's kind of a bad bitch too.
Okay, kinda.
A little bit.
But emphasis on the mean.
On mean.
And yeah, so
So yeah, she spends her days training and
Yep.
such.
she also has a teacher named Julian, and
Julian.
Julian knows her secret. He knows. But he does not tell anybody. And she's like, sorry, he's her favorite because obviously, like, she can be open about things because he knows. And yeah, so I don't know. I can't really get much into detail with him yet because he comes back into play later.
We find out that he is Cal's uncle because
He is.
Cal is not related to Elena? Alara.
Yeah.
Alara is the queen.
Mhm.
He's not Alara's kid.
No.
He's the king's kid,
Mhm.
but the king was like married before Alara.
Mhm.
And Julian was the previous queen's sister. So Cal
Brother.
is his nephew. Or sorry, yes. Cal is his
Yes.
nephew.
Yes. Yeah. Basically, there's also a lot of bad blood because Alara somehow like whispered her way because she's a singer. Somehow, Alara like made the king believe that Cal's mom was bad somehow. She got killed for it. Like she said she was a traitor or something. And yeah, so they ended up killing her, and then also there's this healer named Sarah that Julian loves, and they cut out Sarah's tongue because Sarah knew the truth. So yeah, Cal does not like Alara at all because he's the reason why his mom is dead.
Yep.
Yeah. But because of all this, Julian obviously doesn't really like the queen either. And yeah, so moving forward, basically, she wants to see her family, so Maven tells her that Cal can help with that, and they leave on his bike and they go visit her family, and she ends up telling them, one of her requests from the king was to bring all of her brothers back home from the war and to make sure that Killorn did not go at all. So all of her brothers are back except for one, and they tell her that Shade died. So she's like having a fit, and then her powers end up exploding out of her. And so she tells them all the truth and what's going on. Nobody knows who Cal is yet. And then after that, she wants to go visit Will again because she wants to join the Scarlet Guard because her brother died. And Cal is waiting by the bike, so he hears none of this. But Farley is there. She tells them that she's in, and obviously she's in on the inside too, so that's a big plus. And then after that meetup in her room one morning, there's a servant that comes in and gives her like a glass of tea, and at the bottom is a note that says midnight and a location. So she goes there at midnight, and oh my god, Maven is there. What? So yeah, they have this little secret Scarlet Guard meeting, and then her and Maven are talking more about like why they're both there, and Maven's like, I'm the shadow. Nobody sees me. And yeah. So basically Maven gets all sappy and Mare feels bad for him. And they start connecting in a way. And then
She also sees that Killorn has joined the Scarlet Guard.
That's right.
Despite her efforts to keep him out of everything, he has joined and she's trying to protect him. And she's like, bro, I'm like basically here because of you. Like, I'm trying to save you.
Yes.
And nope, he joined the Scarlet Guard anyways. So the Scarlet Guard devises a plan that they are going to have this attack. Maven shares basically a list of names of people high up that they can kill to show off as like a just to set an example kind of like the power that the Scarlet Guard has. So they're training and practicing for like this ballroom dance thing that's supposed to be like a formal introduction of the, betrothed couples and whatever. So Cal is helping Mare learn how to dance, and they start to kind of catch feelings for each other a little bit, and he kisses her, which is all like, "Ooh, you're gonna marry his brother."
Yeah.
Ugh, even though it's arranged still. But yeah, so they're training and they have this ballroom dance, and at the dance is where this rebellion little thing is gonna take place. So Mare's job in all of this is to control the electricity, turn the lights out so that Scarlet Guard can come in and can kill these nobles. So she does that. And as things are going down, all of a sudden a bomb goes off and like all hell breaks loose. And she's like, what is going on? A bomb was not part of this plan. Cal is like, peace, I'm going to go try and catch these rebels. So he leaves and she's like, she tries to get out of there too, whatever. Cal ends up catching a lot of the Scarlet Guard, including, it's not Ferris.
Farley.
Farley. Oh my God. Farley and Kalorn, she catches them. Maybe Will too. I don't really remember. If
It was not
there.
Will. It was just a couple others.
Just a couple.
Yeah.
But this is bad news because the Queen can read into their minds and like can siphon through all their memories, and she'll know that Maven and Mare are also involved in the Scarlet Guard. So she's like, we gotta break these folks out ASAP, Rocky. So she meets with Julian that night, and Julian is a singer as well. I don't know if we went over that, but he can basically like tell people to do things and they will listen, and he can infiltrate their minds and kind of control them a little bit. So they go through and they are breaking them out, and he's basically, to all of the guards that are like in control, he's like, you're gonna go and do this, and then you're gonna forget that we were ever here and whatever. And so they break them out, and then they put them on Cal's bike and they send them off into the night, and they're like, go get out of here, like go continue fighting for the Scarlet Guard. And then Val stopped reading.
Yeah, this is where Val ends, so Leah has to take over, and I'm sorry. I'm trying my best here, you guys. Okay, so you're not gonna get the full story. You're gonna get what I remember. Okay, so after this all happens, obviously they know that somebody helped them break out. So they start interrogating everybody that they suspect. And I think Cal might be the one that tells... No, it's Maven. Maven tells Mare that obviously they're investigating, and she gets nervous because she doesn't want them to figure out it was her, and she ends up like confiding in him and telling him how things went down, and that Julian was a part of it. And then, I don't fully remember the plot line between this, but somehow they figure out that Julian helped. They also figured out that the guard that was like stationed, I guess, for Mare, he was part of it as well. And Julian ends up disappearing, actually. He runs away because he doesn't want to be killed because he knew that it was going to end up tying back to him. And before he leaves, he tells Mare that she is not like... Obviously, she's not like regular red people. And she's also not fully silver. She has this like strange marker in her blood that gives her abilities, and he calls them new bloods. And he gives her a book that has names of other new bloods, and tells her that like she's not the only one. So yeah, she ends up telling Maven about this book, which is a mistake. But he knows. And then something happens. Sorry, I don't remember. And basically, Cal, Mare, Maven, Alara, and the king, they all meet in this room that's actually soundproof, at the top of one of the buildings. And Mare thinks it's very strange that they're heading up there, but she doesn't really have a choice. She's being like summoned there. So they walk in, and then Alara basically tells them that they're all fools and that she has been devising this grand plan all this time, that she knew that Mare was like scheming all along, and that it wasn't just her, it was also Maven. So Maven and his mom were cooking up this big plan, and that it's all going according to what they wanted to happen. It gets worse. Alara whispers her way into Cal's head and makes him kill his father with his father's blade. So yep, he decapitates him, and basically the cameras were shut off in this room until right after Cal like chopped his head off. And Alara then puts up the act of like, oh my god, my husband just got murdered by his son. So everybody who's looking at the footage thinks that Cal actually killed him. Yeah, so basically, Mare tells Cal, like, they need to run. They need to get the fuck out of there, because they're gonna get killed if they don't run. So they're running, they're trying to get out. They end up getting trapped in the arena by all of the soldiers that Cal once used to, lead. And he tries to tell them, like, they're lying. I didn't do it. Nobody's listening to him. So they end up getting thrown in jail. And then, Maven, I forget this. Maven ends up visiting them while they're in their cells, and he, like, tells Mare that, what did he say? I don't know. Basically, he's like, I think he still has feelings for her. But he's being weird, and she spits in his eye.
Hell yeah, girl.
Yeah, and I don't know, there's just a lot of tension. She also, there's a big thing between, like, her choosing Cal over Maven, or, like, choosing Maven over Cal, and he's like, well, you chose him, and she's like, I choose neither one of you, but
she's like,
okay.
I'm team getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
like,
literally. So basically, they're in prison for a little while, and then they get moved to what is called the Bowl of Bones. So they're essentially being, like, sentenced to death. Like, the best fighters in the nation are basically thrown into the pit with them. And they also kill anyone else who is part of, like, getting the prisoners out. They execute them first. So, yeah. But Cal and Mare are in this pit fighting all of these people, and there's this guy that has powers that can, like, turn theirs off, so they can't use their powers until Mare ends up being smart, and she somehow kills that man. I don't even remember how. He gets impaled somehow, so he's dead, so they can use their powers, and they end up, like, overpowering everybody else in the arena. Blah, blah, blah. They end up escaping somehow. Maven's obviously pissed because they were supposed to die. They get out. They end up catching up with the Scarlet Guard somehow, which I don't remember how either. I'm sorry. And then suddenly they're on this train, and Mare wakes up to Cal's voice, but another voice, and she's like, who is that? Like, it sounds so familiar. And it's Shade, her dead brother, who's not so dead. And he basically tells her that they tried to kill him in the war, like, whoever, the Silvers tried to kill him, but he can teleport, so he, like, kind of just hopped out of the way and got away fast. But yeah, and then he joined the Scarlet Guard, and voila, they're on the train together. Yeah, that's the end. That's literally the epilogue. I'm sorry for all the missing parts, but I tried my best.
That's okay. Once you read the second book, it gets so fuzzy.
It does.
Like,
it does.
The line between the books just is blurred. Mm-hmm. But yeah. I feel like I don't have, like, a ton to say about it because there's nothing to really, like, dive super deep into. But, like, I'm very curious if like, everything with her sister kind of, like, because she seems so, like, pissy at Mare.
Yeah.
I don't know, but this is a series that I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to keep reading it.
Yeah.
I tried really hard to have it finished for today, but that didn't happen.
It's okay.
But
I will say that there is a little bit more relationship building between her and her sister in the second book.
Good.
One thing that I forgot to mention at the end of this is she brings, obviously, she tells Cal about the list and about the other New Bloods, and she, like, makes a point that, like, they need to find them because if there's others like her, like, Maven is going to go after them too. So they need to find them before he does. Yeah. So the second book is literally just them, like, seeking out the people and
Okay.
Maven trying to kill them and whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah. What one can suspect. But yeah, I don't know. It was a
Yeah.
good book. I felt like there was just a lot happening. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I have, though. I really don't have much more to talk about.
That's okay.
Okay. What are we reading the next time? Do you remember?
That's TBD. We have
Okay.
a list of books that we're working on. But next week's week's book is gonna be a surprise, I suppose, for all of you
All right.
because we don't have it decided yet.
Okay. Yay.
Yay.
Well, thanks for listening to this long-ass episode. Sorry, guys. Hope you liked it.
Yeah.
Follow us on all the things.
Follow us everywhere. Show us your love and support.
Yes.
And
Oh. And just know that the impending end of Shelf Life is hanging in the air.
it is hanging in the air.
We'll have updates for you soon, but guys,
impending doom.
Val and I are we're gonna be going our separate ways.
We can't even have this
I
conversation.
did
or
know.
I'm gonna
I can't.
cry.
I can't. I can't. But
Impending doom of shelf life. Bye.
okay, bye.